All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, the San Francisco 49ers took care of a contract that they needed to take care of. And to me, it was a simple no brainer for this organization to pay Deebo Samuel. Now, the 49ers and Deebo agreed yesterday on a 3-year deal for $73.5 million, with more than 58 of that coming in the form of guaranteed money. Now, the Niners had to take care of Deebo because he is the heart and soul of their offense. Yes, this Niners team has been built in the trenches on both sides of the football, but Deebo is the catalyst on offense. You think about his ability as both a receiver and a runner. This past season, or last season, if you will, Deebo Samuel had 77 receptions for more than 1,400 yards and 6 TDs. He also chimed in with 59 rush attempts for 365 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground. And then this past season, in the 3 playoff games for San Francisco, Deebo carried the ball 27 times for more than 100 yards. And then he had 10 receptions for 154 yards as well. And it's not just about his ability as a receiver, and of course, his ability to run the football, but it's also Debo's ability in traffic, because we've seen him a lot of times on sweep plays, or the jet sweep, or the screen pass to the wide receiver. And Debo just has a way about him. He could just weave in and out of traffic, and it doesn't take that much for him to accelerate and get to that next gear. And when Debo gets going, you know what? Just get out of his way and let the man do his thing. And for me now, it's going to be interesting to see, because we talked about the Niners being hopeful to unload Jimmy G. Obviously, it's the Trey Lance show now with quarterbacks. It's going to be interesting to see if there's a team out there willing to take on Jimmy Garoppolo's contract for the 2022 NFL season, and of course, compensate the 49ers uh, with some type of pick. But then the Niners really don't want to release him. But the bottom line is they want to go with Trey Lance. And if they're able, just for the sake of argument, if the Niners are able to unload Jimmy G's contract, obviously that opens up a lot of things for this team, meaning they could start paying some other key players on both sides of the football that need to get paid. But now that Deebo has been taken care of, let's see if him and quarterback Trey Lance can get on the same page. Yes, Trey Lance did start a couple of games for the 49ers last season, but now, he needs to get out there and really be on the same page with his number one weapon on offense. And aside from Deebo, it's also time for San Francisco to take care of guys on both sides of the football, being that Trey Lance is on his rookie deal, and now this is an opportunity for you to load up. So will Nick Bosa be next? And you think about that relentless pass rush that the 49ers have, especially when they have Nick Bosa out there. It's one of those where, you know what, and when the 49ers are on their game in regards to rushing the passer, I would not want to be an opposing quarterback having to, stare down, the likes of Nick Bosa and Eric Armstead and so many others, coming at you. Now, it's going to be all systems go now, obviously, for the 49ers heading into the upcoming season. I'll be talking about that in about a month with my NFL previews. But nonetheless, this was some business that had to get taken care of. And, for the 49ers' sake, they did it basically as training camp started. So, you know what? There's not going to be any distraction. You have to ask yourself, did not holding out help Debo's case? Because sometimes we've seen it in the past where, players do hold out and they have the right to do that. I'm not criticizing that. But there sometimes can be some ill will between said player and said team. Obviously, a lot of dynamics have changed through the CBA, you name it. But Debo being there, obviously he wanted to be there. There was some ill will in the offseason, but nonetheless, things have been smoothed out, and all parties involved can go forward with this. So John Lynch, the Niners general manager, took care of business, got Deebo taken care of. Now, for Mike Shanahan and his team, you know what? Let's see what happens. For the 49ers, there is so much potential for this team heading into this season. And you think about the Niners, they've been so close in the past couple of years. You go back to 2019, and I said it last week, and I'll continue to say it. If Garoppolo had played better in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs, San Francisco would have won. The Niners got to the NFC Championship game last season in spite of Jimmy G not playing great in the first two playoff games, but when they needed him to make plays against the Los Angeles Rams, he was unable to. And if that was not the case, we might be talking about the San Francisco 49ers heading into this season as the defending champs. But that's all water under the bridge at this point. Deebo got his money. He deserved to get his money. Kudos for the Niners for getting it done. And let's see how this team can go forward with young Mr. Lance under center at quarterback. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'd be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.